Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you my October stock pick, and I'm gonna give you all the reasons why I love it. Let's dive in. So this company has a great CEO named Katrina Lake, who founded this company out of her apartment while she was attending Harvard for business school. They currently have zero debt on the balance sheet. They are profitable. Last quarter's earnings was 7 cents, and they beat estimate expectations by 75%. Price action is just above their 52-week low, which is currently in today's trading is right around $20, and they just had an earnings beat with a dovey forward-looking forecast. Who am I talking about? Stitch Fix. So Stitch Fix is a leading online brand styling service that is not a subscription-based service. You actually interact with them whenever you want throughout the year. You're just a member who is signed up for their service, and you can act and behave however you want throughout your shopping year. Now they have personal stylists that they pair you with that collect information about you, your style, what you like, maybe where you work, what your personality is like, and then they take all this information and they feed it to their algorithm. And their algorithm, after serving thousands and thousands of clients, comes up with a style you may be looking for, particular types of clothing you may be looking for, basically packages up a small mini wardrobe for you and then ships it out to you. You try on those clothes, you see what you think, you return what you don't like, and you just continue to move forward from there. And the nice thing is, once the algorithm learns a little bit about you, you can go ahead and revisit it anytime, and it remembers all your previous information. So if your styles change a little bit, you can update the algorithm. You can say, maybe I've switched jobs, or I'm looking for springtime colors versus fall colors, and you can just kind of update the algorithm as you move through as a client. Now their 52-week low is right around $16, and the 52-week high was upwards of $37.75. So right now at $20, Stitch Fix has returned back down into that lower quarter of its range, and it just looks ideal, in my opinion, for my personal accounts, to be looking to start nibbling some shares of this company here in October. So let's look at some previous quarter highlights. They currently have 3.2 million active clients on the Stitch Fix website, and that's an 18% increase year over year. Their net revenue is $432 million, which is an increase of 36% year over year. Just staggering. It's amazing. Moving forward into net income, which is $7.2 million, and their adjusted EBITDA is $6.4 million. And if you don't know what EBITDA is, that's EBITDA. I'm going to leave a link below so that you can have some information about exactly what EBITDA is. Now their full year highlights include net revenue of $1.6 billion, not million, billion dollars, which was an increase of 29% year over year. Net income of $36.9 million and EBITDA of $39.6 million. So very impressive what Stitch Fix has been doing and what Katrina Lake has been putting in place for this company moving forward. So in this video, I also want to dive into the charts. I want to show you exactly why I like these levels. We've got some previous support from the past, and that support level has shown itself recently, and I really like the price action where we are right now. And I'll show you on the chart that we had that earnings beat. Stitch Fix pushed up really nicely, and now I'm kind of waiting for a little pullback to start nibbling some shares, or even nibbling shares in this area. I did sell a couple of puts the other day on Stitch Fix with a $19 strike. So if it dips below $19, I will pick up those shares as long as my contracts expire below $19. So let's jump over, let's check out the charts. We'll break down the weekly, the daily chart, and we'll see what it's doing today. And I'll see if I can convince you that Stitch Fix is the stock of October. Let's dive into the charts. Okay, I've got Stitch Fix's chart up on the daily. Let's flip to the weekly and just take a quick peek and see what we've got here. Now, Stitch Fix did IPO. You can see right here back in November of 2017, so they haven't been around a whole lot of time. So history is limited, but we do have some levels that we can work with, and I want to kind of walk through those here. So you can see we had that low of $14.48, right around $14.50. We ran up to a high of $52.44, which is pretty crazy, wild run up. Then a big push down, and you can see we set up another level here, and I'm just going to do a quick little drawing so that we can sort of keep track of some of these levels. So there's a level, and then in here we've got a little bit of a level. This is sort of a level right in here, tiny one, but it's a nice base right in here, so we'll keep an eye on that. These little dips are sort of in line with those, and then more recently we've got this level. So what I'm watching with this, after looking at the weekly chart, is that we've got some levels of bouncing sort of in this neighborhood of anywhere from $18.90, almost $19, sort of down to that $15.85. And if I go ahead and just bring in a rectangle, you can sort of see it maybe a little bit better if we include where the stock has based a little. So if I just kind of draw this in, that can make it a little bit clearer. So anytime the stock drops into this area, into this rectangle, that's sort of known as our feeding zone. And our feeding zone is just where the price is about right and buyers come in and buy it back up and push it up. Even if it's just a small push to the upside, it's still a response, it's still a feeding area, it's still a supply zone. So you can see all these supply zones that Stitch Fix has had, and now we're currently kind of back in one of those supply zones, and we just had an earnings beat. So I'm really excited about what Stitch Fix has to bring to the table. And in addition to the intro video, one thing I left out that I think is worth mentioning is they're focused on sustainability. So they are making clothes and they are shipping things to customers, but their specific goal is to not ship clothing that is a one-time use and throwaway. They're really looking at durable clothing that can last over the years so that you're not turning over your wardrobe constantly. They don't want to be putting a lot of things in the landfill. They want to be more responsible and eco-focused as they can be as a clothing company. So that's really attractive to me because it tells me that they want to be around for the long haul, that they don't want to just turn a quick dollar and then sort of wander off into the night. They want to stick around. Katrina Lake's investment in the company in terms of her time and maintaining as CEO and sort of staying on the forefront of Stitch Fix. She's the front face of Stitch Fix, and she founded the company. So I love that she founded it and that she still plays a big, big role in the company. So I'm very, very excited about all these things that make up Stitch Fix. So with that being said, let's dive over. Let's go to the daily chart, and we can get a little better look at things here. So you can see those feeding zones. You can see our supply zone way back here when they IPO'd. You can see it again here. And then you can see all these trickles down into that feeding zone before it went really high. Then when it returned, it sort of hung out here and then went back to its feeding zone. And then it broke back out again, and here we go again. So now we've had enough time pass that we have our 20 simple moving average, our 50 simple moving average. We also have the 200 simple moving average, which is the green line. So we're starting to get some indicators that can help us with our decisions in terms of when is a good time to buy Stitch Fix and when is a good time to maybe hold off and be patient. So right now, if I zoom in on this most recent price action, you can see in here that we've been sort of dipping in here, pushing out, came back down, nibbling around in here, and then we had an earnings beat. So we had the earnings beat of 7 cents, which was a 75% surprise to the estimates that were out there, and we got this nice hard push back out. So this is really encouraging, and now we're sort of pausing. So I went ahead and sold some puts with a $19 strike. So if price action dips below $19 before the end of the week, then I'll get assigned shares at $19, which I'm really, really excited about because I want to hold this stock as a stock that is long-term focused. This is a stock that I want to hold and continue to sell options premium on for years to come because I see a lot of value in what Katrina Lake is doing and just their business model in combination with their current balance sheet and their forward-looking outlook. I just think everything's looking really, really nice for Stitch Fix right now. So I want to hold this and see where it'll go in the future. I am going to wait for another dip back into the feeding zone,
Hopefully we get one. If we get a little dip, hopefully I'll pick up those shares, and then as we stay in that feeding zone or come out and back in, I will continue to pick up more shares because it's just looking that good. Now you can see their next earnings date is December 9th. We'll be moving in towards the final portion of the year. So we'll be able to take a look and reevaluate how they've done. And then as we move into the holidays, I want to see how that affects their overall business in terms of clients buying clothes that are customized to themselves, whether that's for work or for outings. I'll be curious to see how that translates moving into the holiday season. Now, if we look at the daily chart real quick on what's happening today, I like to look at the 5-minute chart. And what we can see is we had sort of initial sell-off, kind of bottomed out. It seems like this 1960-ish area has been kind of holding up here and here and here, and now we're kind of moving back to the upside. This doji slowdown right here, right on these moving averages, is really encouraging to me. That's showing a lot of buying pressure right here. And then you got some selling pressure and some more selling pressure. So it seems like there might be a struggle around these moving averages, whether or not they're going to be resistance or are we going to break through them and have them become support underneath us. So that struggle seems to be playing out right now. It's about 11:45 Eastern time, so we're still early in the day, but I'm just watching everything very closely. And my plan with this is each time I'm nibbling shares or selling puts, I want to go ahead and update you guys on how I'm feeling about things. I'm going to continue to watch the news on Stitch Fix, and I'm also going to continue to follow their balance sheet, especially when we get into December around the 9th for their earnings date. I want to hear the conference call. I want to know how things look moving forward, and I'm very encouraged to hear the numbers because they've been showing such good growth that seems sustainable at this point in time. I just want to see how that looks before I possibly nibble more shares beyond what I have out there right now. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys are interested in Stitch Fix. Again, don't trade anything based on my opinion. Do your own due diligence. See what you think. If you have questions, comment below. If you're new to town, consider subscribing. And as always, hit that like button, and we'll see you tomorrow.